There is a truth the powerful have always known, a truth rarely spoken, yet always practiced. It is this: emotions are the invisible chains around your neck. The more you care, the tighter the chain pulls. The more you feel, the easier you are to bleed. This world does not reward the ones who love too deeply. It rewards those who can walk away without a backward glance. Caring is a currency, and the economy of power belongs to those who spend the least. The fewer emotions you display, the more control you possess. The less you reveal, the more others are drawn toward you. People think love wins wars. They think empathy earns respect. But history proves otherwise. Wars are won by calculation, not affection. Respect is earned through fear and restraint, not through open hearts. If you want to rule, you must never let your heart outrun your strategy. The man who feels less always has power over the one who feels more. Because emotion is leverage, and leverage is control. To be powerful, you must master indifference. You must learn to withdraw just enough to remain untouchable. You must spark interest, then freeze it into desire. That is the secret the strong have always known. Emotion is a leash placed around the neck of every human being. Most never notice it. They believe their feelings make them authentic, noble, or even strong. But in truth, feelings reveal weakness. The moment you need approval, you surrender power. The moment you crave validation, you hand over control. Emotions are weapons used against you, not gifts to protect you. Your need to be liked, to be accepted, to be understood. These are chains. Chains you polish and carry proudly, not realizing they enslave you. The powerful man knows this and refuses to wear them. He detaches not out of cruelty, but out of calculation. When you stop caring what others think, you rise above them. Detachment is not emptiness, it is clarity. The less you care, the more people try to capture your attention. The more silent you remain, the louder others become in their desperation. This reversal of energy shifts the balance of power. You no longer chase, you are chased. You no longer explain, you are listened to. You no longer react, you command. Power begins with emotional restraint. Control is born in mystery, and mystery lives in distance. When people cannot read you, they cannot control you. When you withhold your reactions, you force others to reveal theirs. And in their desperation to understand you, they expose themselves. This is why the one who feels less always dictates the pace. Because caring too much makes you predictable. And predictable men are always controllable. Emotional detachment, therefore, is not weakness. It is the foundation of dominance. The still man is the dangerous man. The quiet man is the one who shapes the room. Detachment is often misunderstood. People confuse it with apathy, with a lack of care for life. But true detachment is not absence. It is control. It is the ability to see everything without being owned by it. To feel, but not to be enslaved by feeling. Strategic indifference is not about shutting down your humanity. It is about disciplining it. You may still see, think, and even care, but you never overinvest. You never hand the keys of your inner world to someone else. When you do not attach, you cannot be pulled. When you do not overreact, you cannot be baited. This makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is dangerous. The man who is unreadable becomes a source of power, because no one knows where to strike. No one knows what tempts him, what enrages him, what breaks him. He becomes the shadow in the room, the one everyone watches but cannot figure out. Danger is seductive. It commands attention, respect, even obedience. That is why silence and indifference work as weapons. They are shields and swords at the same time. A single calm gaze can unnerve someone more than 1,000 insults. A single refusal to respond can collapse someone's confidence. The masses are addicted to emotional exchange. They expect reaction, validation, drama. When you deny it, they spiral. They panic. They overextend. And in doing so, they reveal themselves. This is why indifference is not weakness. It is strategy. By caring less, you force others to care more. By withholding reaction, you take control of the rhythm. Your power grows not from what you say, but from what you refuse to say. Your influence grows not from how you move, but from how you stay still. Strategic indifference makes you untouchable. It makes you the anchor in the storm, the figure others circle around. And in this circling, they give you control without realizing it. Remember this: silence creates tension, tension creates fear, and fear creates obedience. In a noisy world, silence is more powerful than words. Most men speak too much. They explain themselves, justify themselves, overexpose themselves. Every word is a map to their weaknesses. Every confession becomes a weapon for someone else. The manipulator listens carefully, not to understand you, but to study you. Your honesty is not valued. It is stored. Your vulnerability is not respected. It is analyzed. This is why silence must become your fortress. The less you say, the less they can use against you. The more you withhold, the more mysterious you appear. And mystery is always stronger than clarity. The open man is predictable. The silent man is feared. When insults come, do not respond. When lies are spread, do not correct them. When others rage, do not mirror their fire. Your stillness is the blade they cannot parry. It makes them question themselves. It makes them doubt their own strength. When you stay calm as others break down, you magnify their weakness. Your silence is not absence, it is domination. It is the refusal to dance to their tune. It is the declaration that you cannot be moved. This psychological distance is more terrifying than anger. It is a mirror that forces people to face their own chaos. And they will beg for your reaction. They will provoke you, insult you, pressure you. Do not give it. The one who reacts loses. The one who observes wins. Control is not about constant movement. It is about choosing when to strike and when not to move at all. Silence creates space. In that space, others unravel. They reveal their cards while you reveal nothing, and in that exchange, you always win. The art of power is not in loud speeches. It is in the moments you say nothing and still command the room. Power is an exchange, and the medium of exchange is not money. It is emotion. Every word you speak, every reaction you give, every ounce of attention you show, these are payments. Most people spend without thinking. They hand out their emotions as if they were worthless coins. They confess too much. They react too quickly. They explain themselves too often. And like all cheap things, their emotions lose value. When someone always reacts, their reaction no longer matters. When someone always explains, their words carry no weight. This is why emotional economy must become your guiding principle. You must treat your feelings as currency. And currency only holds value when it is scarce. If you respond to every insult, your silence loses its power. If you constantly offer approval, your approval loses its meaning. If you reveal yourself freely, your mystery disappears. The powerful man does the opposite. He spends his emotions sparingly. He gives his reactions in measured doses. When he speaks, people listen because he rarely speaks. When he shows care, it is noticed because it is unusual. Scarcity creates demand. Scarcity creates value. This is why luxury is respected, because it is rare. Your emotions must become luxury items, not available to everyone, not given without price. This does not mean you never feel. It means you never let feelings dictate your distribution. You decide when to care and you decide when to withdraw. By rationing your emotions, you shift the power dynamic. The more you hold back, the more others invest. They fight for your attention. They chase your validation. They crave your reaction. This is how control is built, not by speaking more, but by speaking less. Not by giving everything, but by giving almost nothing. Your restraint makes people restless. Your silence makes them question themselves. Your distance makes them value your presence. Think of it as a negotiation. The one who speaks least holds the most leverage. The one who gives least forces the other side to give more. This is how the emotional market works. The one who spends less always controls the exchange. The one who withholds always dictates the price. And the one who understands this law rises above the rest, because he is not owned by his emotions. He owns them, and through them he owns others. The battlefield of emotions is not the boardroom. It is not the political stage. It is not even the streets of war. The true battlefield lies in your closest relationships. Romantic, familial, and social ties are where most men are defeated, not because they lack strength, not because they lack intelligence, but because they surrender control of their emotions. They allow love to become a leash. They allow affection to become dependence. They allow connection to become ownership. And once that happens, their power is gone. Society teaches you that love is sacred, that love is unconditional, that love is pure. But this is a half-truth, and half-truths are dangerous. Love is also war. It wears perfume instead of armor. It whispers instead of shouts. It disarms you not with violence but with comfort. Every relationship has a leash, and the leash always belongs to the one who cares less. It is never the person who reveals their heart first. It is never the one who confesses the most. It is the one who waits. It is the one who withholds. It is the one who can walk away. Dependency is the root of weakness. The moment you cannot live without someone, you become their servant. The moment you need their approval, you surrender control. They may not even know it consciously, but they hold the leash. They can pull you with kindness. They can restrain you with guilt. They can manipulate you with promises. And you will obey because you need them. This is why you must master detachment in love. Yes, you may love. Yes, you may care. But never from a place of dependency. Never from a place of desperation. Love must never blind you to strategy. Love must never silence your discipline. You must remain capable of walking away, because the man who can walk away is always the one in power. Betrayal will come, as it always does. When it arrives, do not break. Do not rage. Do not beg. Do not explain. You simply leave. You turn silence into your revenge, indifference into your punishment, and distance into your victory. This cuts deeper than anger. This wounds more than shouting, because it shows you were never chained. It shows you cannot be owned. And in relationships, as in all wars, the one who needs less is the one who rules. If you want to survive the endless games of power, you must become a fortress, strong on the outside, silent on the inside, impenetrable to those who seek to control you. Most people live like open houses, every door unlocked, every window transparent. Anyone can walk in, anyone can see what is inside. This is why they are so easily broken. This is why they are so easily manipulated. They overshare their fears. They overshare their dreams. They overshare their insecurities. And once that information is out, it no longer belongs to them. It belongs to whoever listens. It becomes a weapon in someone else's hands. The fortress mindset is the opposite. You do not show your walls. You do not reveal your weaknesses. You do not grant access to your inner world freely. You choose carefully who enters your gates. And even then, you never expose the full structure. Mystery is your armor. Distance is your defense. The less people know about you, the harder it is to control you. Even those closest to you should never see everything. Keep parts of yourself unreadable, unreachable, untouchable. This is not isolation. It is discipline. You may still connect, but you connect selectively. You may still share, but you share strategically. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every manipulation should add a new stone to your walls. Not walls of bitterness, but walls of wisdom. Walls that remind you, openness without limits is weakness. A fortress is respected because it cannot be conquered. It stands tall because it withstood storms and still did not fall. You must become the same. When people try to decode you, let them fail. When they demand explanations, deny them. When they ask for access, refuse politely. Because the more they understand you, the easier you are to control. And the man who is fully understood is the man who is fully owned. The fortress man is never owned. He is never predictable. He is never broken. People may call him cold. They may call him distant. They may call him unreachable. Let them. Their criticism is proof that your walls are working, that you are no longer playing by their rules, that you are sovereign. And sovereignty is the highest form of freedom, because the man who cannot be conquered is the man who leads. Most men are not destroyed by external enemies. They are destroyed by the enemies inside themselves, not by swords, not by betrayals, but by their own cravings. Desire is the silent killer of power, the hunger to be loved, the thirst to be recognized, the craving for pleasure, the longing for comfort. Each desire is a chain. Each craving is a leash waiting to be pulled. The man who cannot master his desires will always be mastered by someone else. A lover will pull him with affection. A friend will pull him with approval. An enemy will pull him with temptation. He will think he is free, but he is not. He is enslaved by his own appetites. Discipline is the cure. Discipline is the sword that cuts through desire. It is the ability to say no when the world demands yes. It is the strength to choose silence when anger screams for release. It is the control to walk away when temptation promises reward. Discipline makes you unpredictable, because you cannot be bribed by comfort. You cannot be seduced by flattery. You cannot be trapped by indulgence. Desire blinds, but discipline clarifies. It gives you vision when others are blinded by greed and lust. It gives you control when others are slaves to impulse. Look at history. Great leaders did not rise by chasing pleasure. They rose because they delayed gratification. They chose the long game over the short thrill. They chose strategy over hunger. And so must you. Every day, you will be tested. By distractions, by people who try to tempt you, by voices inside you that whisper, just this once. But each time you resist, you sharpen your blade. Each time you refuse, you strengthen your fortress. Each time you deny, you rise above. Discipline is the throne upon which power sits. Without it, all victories are temporary. Without it, all strength collapses. But with it, you become untouchable. With it, you become rare. With it, you become feared. Because the man who does not chase desire cannot be bought. He cannot be owned. He cannot be controlled. And that man, disciplined, detached, unshaken, is the one who rules. The lion roars to show its power. The wolf hunts in packs to display its unity. The eagle soars above to reveal its vision. But the serpent does none of this. It does not announce itself. It does not display its strength. It hides. It waits. It observes. And when the time is perfect, it strikes with precision. This is the strategy you must learn. Not noise, not display, not constant movement, but patience, calculation, and silence. The serpent does not waste energy chasing what it cannot catch. It does not strike blindly. It does not reveal itself before the kill. Likewise, you must never reveal your full intentions. Never explain your every move. Never allow others to predict your timing. Predictability is weakness. Once people can read you, they can control you. Once they know your pattern, they can trap you. Mystery is the antidote. Silence is the weapon. Patience is the shield. The serpent teaches that timing is everything. To act too soon is to fail. To act too late is to miss the opportunity. But to act at the perfect moment is to win without struggle. This is why the serpent terrifies. It does not roar before it bites. It does not threaten. It simply waits, calm, still, unreadable. And then, in an instant, it strikes with precision that cannot be countered. You must embody the same nature. When provoked, do not react immediately. When tempted, do not rush forward. When challenged, do not reveal your full strength. Wait, watch, study. Because most enemies destroy themselves through their own impatience. They reveal their plans too soon. They expose their weakness too early. They attack before the moment is right. And all you must do is watch. All you must do is wait. And when they are vulnerable, when they are tired, when they are overconfident, you strike. Not loudly, not chaotically, but silently, suddenly, unforgettably. The serpent strategy is not about being seen. It is about being feared without presence, respected without noise, dangerous without display. The less they know of you, the more they imagine. And imagination is always more terrifying than reality. That is the secret of the serpent, and it must become yours. Revenge is tempting. It feels powerful. It feels final. It feels like justice. But in truth, revenge is still an emotional reaction. It shows you care. It shows you are affected. It shows you can be provoked into action. And the powerful man does not move because of emotion. He moves because of strategy. That is why indifference is stronger than revenge. Because indifference is not reaction. It is judgment. It is not noise. It is silence. And silence cuts deeper than any scream. When someone betrays you, they expect rage. They expect shouting. They expect begging. They expect explanation. They expect drama. And when you give them nothing, when you offer no reaction at all, you break them without lifting a hand. Because what they wanted most was to matter. And your indifference denies them that. It declares, "You are nothing to me." No anger, no pain, no desire for revenge. Just distance, just silence, just calm. That calm terrifies, because it cannot be manipulated. It cannot be baited. It cannot be controlled. The world thrives on drama, on noise, on endless emotional reactions. And when you refuse to play, you stand apart. Unreachable, untouchable, unmoved. This is not weakness. This is power. It is the power of restraint, the power of stillness, the power of not giving them what they want. Revenge consumes energy. Indifference saves it. Revenge ties you to your enemy. Indifference frees you from them. Revenge says, "You hurt me, and I must hurt you back." Indifference says, "You never mattered enough to touch me." And that statement, without words, is the sharpest blade you can wield. The man who seeks revenge wastes his time. The man who remains indifferent multiplies his power, because his enemies cannot understand him. They cannot predict him. They cannot win against someone who simply refuses to play their game. Indifference is the highest form of control. It makes you untouchable. It makes you feared. It makes you respected. Remember, revenge is for the emotional. Indifference is for the powerful. And true power is not in proving your strength to others. It is in never needing to. The ultimate goal of detachment is freedom. Freedom from manipulation. Freedom from expectation. Freedom from the chaos of other people's emotions. When you no longer react to every insult, you are free. When you no longer chase validation, you are free. When you can walk away from love, friendship, or reputation without flinching, you are truly free. Because nothing holds power over you. Nothing dictates your actions. Nothing can move you. This is the paradox. The less you care, the more others care. People are drawn to what they cannot control. They chase what they cannot have. They obsess over what they cannot predict. Your silence becomes magnetic. Your distance becomes irresistible. Your calm becomes their obsession. Detachment does not mean you are cold or heartless. It means you are sovereign. It means you are the master of your own emotions. It means you are in control of your mind. Control is more important than love, more important than approval, more important than comfort. Because love can be fleeting. Approval can be temporary. Comfort can be stolen. But control is permanent when cultivated within. When you master your emotions, the world cannot master you. Your silence is your crown. Your calm is your armor. Your discipline is your sword. And the man who wields these does not beg. He does not chase. He does not over-explain. He does not justify his absence or ambition. Others may call him cold, distant, or unreachable. Let them. Their words are proof that you have risen above their influence. Weak men crave warmth. Powerful men radiate fire from within. They do not need validation. They do not seek approval. They create tension, not comfort. They write their own narrative. And in that narrative, they are always in control. To detach is not to abandon humanity. It is to master it. It is to rise above the chaos of hearts and minds that have not learned restraint. It is to remain calm while the world screams. It is to be unmoved while others panic. It is to exist untouchable, unreadable, ungovernable. This is true freedom. This is the highest form of power. And when you achieve this, you no longer merely survive, you dominate. Because the world belongs to the one who cares least, waits longest, and observes the most. Detachment is not coldness. It is intelligence. It is strategy. It is sovereignty. And it is the final lesson of the powerful. You have now learned the truth about power. It does not belong to those who love the hardest. It does not belong to those who speak the most. It belongs to those who control themselves the most. Detachment is not weakness. Silence is not absence. Indifference is not apathy. They are all tools of power. The man who cares less always wins, because he is never chained. He is never predictable. He is never owned. The leash of emotion enslaves the masses. But you were never born to be a slave. You were born to be sovereign. You were born to control your mind, your reactions, your world. Caring less is not cruelty. It is strategy. It is discipline. It is freedom. The powerful man moves without noise. He waits without desperation. He speaks without begging. He walks away without fear. And in this, he dominates. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Psychology Insights. Like this video. Share it with someone who still believes caring too much is strength. Because power does not beg. Power does not chase. Power watches. Power chooses. And power always, always cares less.